Yo, 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 what it do? How's it going? How's it going? Get the fuck out of there. Frankie's Fight of the Fight Nights is back. We never left, brother. We never fucking left. I'd still put my British banger in Barber's Mash. I guess we're getting straight into it today. Thoughts on fake tits? We're definitely getting into it today. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. They're not great to the touch, but they look great. So I would never want to discourage that. How we doing, Usalis? If anything, movies like Roadhouse need to portray what 2025 MMA is like. Flashy soy influencer era instead of gritty tough fighters, the quitter era as well. Yeah, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I'm gonna be real, man. I still haven't seen that movie. I couldn't bring myself to indulge in the cringe. I knew it was gonna be horrible. And I mean, Conor McGregor's reputation to me is already beyond repair. I didn't want to make it even worse. What? Hello? Oh, okay. I'll be right back. Oh. Why are you crying? Why are you upset? Huh? I told you already. Always seems to happen the first few minutes in. How you doing? How's it going, Lane? Ricky, what's good? What is good? Fake tits. Yes, fake tits. I love them. I approve of them. I endorse them. I enjoy them. Yeah, the timing always seems to be crazy. Like as soon as I go on, like he's yeah, he wants a little bit of late night I don't know, attention. Oh, what's up, fool? How you doing? What are those emojis? How you doing, B7? I don't know why Restream can't translate emojis at all. It's very frustrating. But we make do. How are we all doing today? I'm assuming everyone. I implore anyone to lie about how much money they made last night. Because if you claim you've made anything, you're a fucking liar. Tyno, how's it going, bro? What is good? I fucking love you, Tyno. Tyno has one of the greatest football YouTube channels out there. Long-time friend of the channel. And a fellow Newcastle fan, which I always appreciate somebody who's gone through as much suffering as I have. So shout out to you, sir. If you're a football fan, subscribe to Tyno. He is the boy. Been a lovely Sunday. I spent most of it sleeping, I'll be honest. Certainly the first part of it. I managed to get to the main event, which I'm sure we're going to get into. I mean, we can't not talk about it. No, Andy, I am not muted. There is no way I'm muted. No way. Don't troll me, Andy. I had a couple of parlays left, at least 5. They got voided, took a massive chunk of the winnings. Well, at least you came out with something. At least you did. I managed to just about break even, but I had lost pretty much every parlay up to that point. There was one that would have netted me a big amount, but fucking Jordan Levitt had to win in the first round, which ain't great. But yeah, outside of that, I managed to break even by basically putting a hefty chunk on Gamrot. I was very, very confident in him. Very confident. Maybe some of you can recollect my memory. I've never seen that happen before. I've seen like obviously fighters pull out in the middle of the card. We've all seen that. But right as they're walking out, I've never seen that. I've never seen that happen. And what was really bizarre about it is is the scrambling that went on. You know, it was they're about to walk out to like seconds later, she's not been medically cleared. I found the whole thing very, very strange. And I really I did a lot of like private trolling about this. Everyone knows I don't like Macy Barber. I've never liked her. I think she's first of all, I think she's butters and a bit of a slut and a trash fighter. So I don't really like anything about her. But it's still I didn't want to dunk on her too much, but let's just say it's slightly sus. I can't believe the people who bet on Klein ended up super negative because they couldn't bounce back with the main event. That's a sense that I got a lot from. I was shocked at the amount of people that were picking Ludovic Klein. I couldn't believe it. Thing is though, I'm a very, very big Gamrot fan. I've always thought he was kind of shafted. Didn't really fancy his call out after the fight. I thought that was a bit soy. Um, like calling out Benoit Saint Denis, I think was one of them. I thought was pretty weak. He should be. I think this is why it's kind of hard to feel sorry for him. When you get a big win or a win, you've got to call your shot, and he didn't do that. I'm good, Andy. How you doing, bro? How's the channel doing? Hopefully, you can hear me loud and clear now. I don't have one decent memory of the card, to be fair. I'm gonna say this, yeah. I actually don't think it was that bad a card up to that point, and I'm gonna maintain that actually the main event getting cancelled probably at least gave us something to talk about because it was not going to be a good fight. We all know that. Um, Erin should fight Alexa Grasso. We were saying the same thing. I'm fully behind her saying she's not going to fight Macy Barber again. I wouldn't either. And interestingly, apparently she's going to get her show money and her win bonus as well. So turned out to be a good night for her. You reckon Macy shot at her shorts? There's a lot of rumors going around. There's rumors that she had a seizure. There's rumors that I think that was a troll rumor that she accidentally took a laxative, which I don't know how that happens to anyone. And that I think she shit her pants literally. I think she had a panic attack, freaked out, and just literally they were trying to convince her to go down because it sounded like they were like, the fight's about to start. And then the first thing they said on broadcast was Macy Barber's refusing to make the walk. And then it was, oh, she's not medically cleared, to later on, oh, she's had a seizure. If I'm gonna take off my being a cunt hat, which is very, very hard for me to do, I think she had a panic attack. And I've discussed this with a few people, Lane included. We were kind of talking about it last night, well, laughing about the whole situation. Um, I think she had a panic attack and didn't want any. That's what I think happened. I think she's got her fake tits, which we all know is a very bad sign. It's been well documented. I think she's embracing that side of her life now, being a thought for people to jerk their nuts over, and that she's not a serious fighter anymore. That's kind of where my head's at with this whole thing. So yeah, fuck her. The whole thing's hilarious, and like I said, it gives us something to talk about. But I'm going with the narrative that she had a panic attack / shit her pants. And that's what I'm going with. Jasuda Vicious wouldn't be a bad fight. I think Jasuda Vicious is quite far down the rankings, though. I was just thinking, do people really think she browned her breast? I think it was something that was like a joke that was like became a literal thing. Anyway. The new ref camera, thoughts on it, Frankie? Do you like the ref cam? They've been using ref cams in PFL for a while. It's something that one of the only things they got right in the PFL, along with the smart cage. I think it's a great idea. Because obviously when you get moments where there's a controversial ref stoppage, you can see what he's seeing. So I kind of like that aspect of it. Card was cursed. 3 weight misses, 1 cancellation, and Macy forcing a fight to catch weight is disgraceful. I still maintain that we're lucky we didn't get that fight. I reckon it would have bored the shit out of all of us. I mean, it's not like it's we're all complaining like, "Oh, we got to miss out on the fight." Nobody cared. I certainly didn't. They had Erin ready to walk out with a 6-minute warning, so she clearly could not have been in the hospital. Yeah, it went from like they clearly said she's not making the walk, or she's refusing to make the walk is the first thing they said. Then it was, oh, she's not been medically cleared, to, oh, she's in the hospital. And it all happened within a 5-minute spell. Was this the worst card of 2025? Nah, I don't think it was. I mean, we had some scraps. I mean, a lot of people criticized like we got a standing guillotine, which is always fun. We got let me just refresh my memory because now that you mention it, I can't really remember much about what happened last night. Um let's think about this objectively for a second. Um the Riani dos Santos and Ardelin fight, considering they're two shit fighters, they put on quite a nice little bit of a scrap. Ended up getting fight of the night, which to me is hilarious. I can't remember the last time an opening fight got fight of the night, but that's says everything about this card. The Balaki OG performance was terrible. I think he's dog shit. Jordan Levitt got a quick finish. The flyweight fight was somewhat technical. The Zachary Reese and Todorovic fight was very sloppy, but it was enjoyable. Dustin Jacoby got a knockout. Like I said, we had the standing guillotine from Brahimaj, and then Gamrot put on a masterclass, a wrestling masterclass. So I think the fights themselves weren't that bad. There was a lot of like fights that weren't technical, were a bit sloppy, but sometimes they can be fun like that. Did you almost say rape? I did not. I did not say that. Minty Betts got exposed so bad. Yeah, I saw that as well. I mean, people were saying, "Oh, she got exposed as an industry plant." Do you really think that Minty Betts is making any of those picks? Anyone who thought that in the first place is fucking retarded. I think her career might be fucked for that. I don't imagine the UFC are going to look too favorably on that because clearly some people out there had the opinion that she was the one making the picks. Ridiculous. You've never felt fear until I mean, I've had a panic attack before, but I think that's exactly what this happened with. And what Dougie's pointing out is important as well. Like the start of the card, the start time didn't start when it's supposed to. So we ended up waiting around for 40 minutes while they showed shitty highlights. Betty, let's not go too hard on the breast implants. Are they something that a professional fighter should do? Definitely not. But we don't want to discourage women, as I said yesterday, from going down this road because I love fake tits. And most of us do. So let's not, as I said yesterday to somebody, throw the baby out with the bathwater. They said she wasn't lined and ready to walk out, and she ran back to the locker room, and then they said she wasn't medically cleared, as if they check medicals as they're walking out. The whole thing's ridiculous. And as I said, the first thing she said, Laura Sanko said, was she's refusing to make the walk. Silicone rot. It's weird. I think panic attack is probably the most likely thing. I think she shit her pants and didn't want to go out, and that they've covered up for her. And if this was somebody else, this is what sickens me about the whole thing. Because part of my whole dislike of Macy Barber is that I felt like she's had a few robberies, she's got a little bit of preferential treatment, matchups that are more suitable for her. She clearly gets the old Dana White privilege, but this just takes the cake. I've never liked her. I've never really enjoyed her as a fighter either, and I think she's butters. So yeah. Yeah, watching Minty because I'll be honest with you, yeah, I've got an issue with like Asian plague. I think Minty Betts is quite hot, so it was quite hard for me to watch her have a basic meltdown. I mean, it wasn't that bad. When you go back and look at it, it's not that bad. She just had a bit of a brain fart, or she couldn't get her words out, couldn't read the auto cue. Probably a combination of all the things. Not gonna lie, we need to treat Macy like Armin. I would say worse. I would say worse. The thing is with Armin, he at least gave them enough time to find a replacement. And some people forget, yeah, even though it's not the replacement that we wanted, it generated a lot of excitement because it's like we all love Money Moicano. It was like, you know, you could work with it. And it added a new element to it. Like, what would Makhachev do with having to face a new opponent in less than 24 hours? There was intrigue to it. It turned out to be a complete dud and a complete mismatch, but it didn't completely bomb the card. If anything, it created a different kind of interest. Macy Barber just straight up pulled out as the walkout was happening. And I don't think that's ever happened. And as of now, there are so many conflicting things. It's very difficult to know what's true, but I can tell you this much: shady. It's worse. It is worse. It's way worse. With Armin, as soy as it was here, at least he was trying to impress a woman. A total slut, but I can relate to that. We've all had moments in our life when we've tried to impress a woman and it's backfired right in our faces. We've all done it, but you know. So I can respect that to some extent. Not the target of who it was, but I can respect the effort. I'd pull out of Macy also. No, you wouldn't. You'd stay in, you dirty little degenerate. It was nice to see Jacoby KO another random jobber. Yeah, Jacoby's had a rough ride with a few split decisions. He definitely beat Roundtree. Another card that I got robbed on. Money in my ever inflating pockets that was stolen from me. Ooh, Minty's not my type. Too short, looks like a gnome. Gay. If you're saying you wouldn't tap Minty bets, you're gay. End of discussion. Definitely Sandy Vag syndrome. You're saying that Macy Barber has a Sandy Vag. If you want to get a true reflection of Macy Barber, you just need to see her during that face off. She is fuck ugly. There are some white women that I would fuck with. I literally wouldn't go near that. I'm sorry. She's gross. I think she got on her head too much. She almost died last fight, so that played a major mind fuck in her head. So yeah, panic attacks plus cut. I do think the tit job thing has a lot to do with it. I think the inactivity, the injuries has had a lot to do with it. But this is unforgivable. Read my DM after stream, you tosspot. When did you DM me? Was that on which platform was that on? I will check all of them, sir. I have been neglecting my Twitter and Discord recently. Minty's too frail. Fall, you tap that. Let's stop pretending. Are you saying she's frail, but I would? Because then, we can continue to regular scheduled business, really. She's undoubtedly one of the hotter female figures in the UFC for sure. How's it going, Giddy? How was the trip back? Alive and well and kicking, I'm seeing. Hope you're doing well, sir. But yeah, I think the shit that this card is getting is a little bit too far. We got some finishes, we got some decent scraps. Was it overly technical throughout the card? No. I loved Gamrot's performance. I'm a big fan of his. Hated the call out. Is what it is. Yeah, Chris, when's the first video dropping? I was sure you dropped one already and that I hadn't got around to seeing it yet. Simpiano is back. Giuliano ditched us for Fight Fairy. I was on I popped into Fight Fairy's live stream at the beginning of yesterday. To be fair, I used to give Fight Fairy a lot of shit. She's actually all right. She knows her stuff now and she seems like a fairly decent person. And to be fair, she's not going down the getting your tits out route yet. So fair play to her. She seems to know the fighters. She seems to understand the game a little bit. So fair play. I'm not gonna rag on the girl anymore. I mean, I didn't really go that far anyway. It was short at least. The main being cancelled made it better. I completely agree with you, Bertrand. I maintain, yeah, the fight would have stunk, and at least it's given us something to laugh at, which we all appreciate. And I don't want to live in a world where Macy Barber manages to eke out another split decision or robbery and then gets further up the pecking order. This has single-handedly ruined any chance she's got of ever being a champion. Not that I think she would have got there anyway, or at least getting a title fight, because they were clearly doing everything they could to push her in that direction. I like watching Fight Fairy paint. It's so relaxing. Yeah, I saw she was gonna paint. I didn't actually stick around to watch it. I just kind of popped in. Frankie, for 2K, I'm doing an every MMA YouTuber's phone number and address tier list. Do you want to participate? Self-hating one guy. Why Uncle Vampire King? Yeah, I'll participate. I'll participate. I've said this many, many times. Anybody who dares to pull up to my house is just it's gonna end badly for you. There's a lake outside, and I've got some spare weights handy, if you know what I'm saying. So pull up if you dare. What's up, Frankie? How you doing, Captain? What's good, man? Captain Raf, how you doing, bro? That is gonna be. I see everyone's turning up tonight. All the dregs of MMA society are turning up. I was actually hyped for the fight too. No, you weren't. Nobody was hyped for the fight. Don't lie. Don't lie, Juice. I've got a lot of respect for you. Let's not pretend that anyone cared. I think the fact that it didn't happen and the circumstances of it not happening in has made it more enjoyable. Get sub to this food nonce. Lovely choice of vernacular there. You got some breeze blocks. Again, I'm lost. Yeah, I mean, I'm not shanking people who pull up with an invite. I'm not some psycho. But if you ring on my doorbell and you didn't get an invitation, it's gonna end badly for you. I am white, remember? Oh my god. I've invited black people to my house before. There's times that's happened. Why did Macy get a boob job in the first place? She just looks saggier and older than before. She definitely has aged terribly, but she didn't really have much to lose. I think what probably happened is her face got even more atrocious than it was before. And she thought, I've got to do the tits, which I kind of respect. And it's not like she went for like, you know, full blown balloons or anything. It was a slight enhancement. Should you be doing that in your career? Definitely not. But women are insecure. Well, some of them are. All of them are. And again, I don't want to discourage that at all. Macy Barber looks like she'd produce dwarf children. Macy Barber looks like she could have sex with anyone and they would be inbred. No, chill. I know you're into older looking women. It's all good. We've all had our moments. We've all gone through a cougar phase. I definitely went through mine. And it was glorious. Glorious. Yeah, no chill is like the local YouTube beef celebrity at the moment. I think I ended up watching that stream of yours a couple of times. The last one you did. It was hard not to. I'll be real. She looks good, man. Just bag it and then drag it if her poodle face bothers you so much. I don't see anything redeeming about Macy Barber at all. She's dog ugly, pig ugly. I've been calling her a pig for years. I think she's gross. Doing good, Juice Man. Look, I went to a Metallica and Pantera concert last night and my voice broke down. Jesus. Yeah, I can imagine that would get vocal. Women's MMA is plain terrible. Send it back to Invicta. This is a setback for women's MMA for sure. But at least we forget, and I know people don't want to admit this. The opening scrap was fun. And we have had some good women's MMA fights this year. 8 likes, you bunch of cunts. I've noticed shit. It doesn't really make any difference. But I'm gonna put it up anyway. Macy Barber does not have an ass. She doesn't. She absolutely doesn't. This has to stop. This has to stop. I don't think there's anything ridiculous. She's just not my physical body type at all. I know we're kind of getting into irrelevancy here, and we often do on this channel, but it's just she ain't it. If she had the same face but Angela Hill's color, you'd want to smash. That's definitely for somebody else. Not my type at all. I used to buy weed from a 60-year-old smoke show. Thought about it. She was taller than me. That sounds like a nightmare. 60 and over 5'10". Mate, I bet you slammed some outright munters in your time. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You're 5'10", right? You're saying she was 60 and a giant. I feel like I threw up a little bit in my mouth. Is there somebody else in the chat right now? Who's the somebody else? You know I'm very slow, no chill. Very, very slow indeed. But yeah, that does sound awesome. Weston, that's fucking revolting. That's not even the most disgusting thing Weston's ever said. I'll be real. A 60-year-old smoke show. That's an oxymoron. She was definitely considerable at least. I'm glad that you've decided to back down immediately. I mean, I've said this multiple times on this channel. It's not new here. Like, we're men out here. We are men. There's certain times when we've dipped our shit into things that we've later gone on to regret. But there are lines. And a 6 foot tall, 60-year-old clapped out drug dealer, I don't think it should be on anyone's menu. I don't care how fucked up your preferences are. Aren't you drunk all the time, Westy? That would well, again, I think even drunk. Can you imagine the wear and tear on a 60-year-old snatch? I don't even want to consider it. And I've just considered it. Gilf Gallop MMA. You should have to change your name to that for a month after that statement. That is disgusting. Nothing wrong with grey pussy. This isn't grey pussy that we're talking about, though. We're talking about a 6 foot tall. I don't even want. Let's move on. Let's move on abruptly. I'm finding that's clearing. It's like clattering up my brain thinking right now. This was when I was 28. I don't know if that makes it worse or better. To be perfectly honest, I'm grossed out right now. I'm very rarely judgmental on people's vagina preferences, but that's a tough one for me. Oldest woman I ever got with was 28. I mean, I did get with somebody who was technically a grandma when I was 23, but she was 38. And that's the oldest I've gone. And to be fair, it was awesome. She knew some stuff. I'll put it that way. I learned a lot from that interaction. That was a good one. And to be fair, I didn't know she was a grandma until after. I mean, not that that excuses it, but it is what it is. Simpiano, what's up with Aisha? I'll give her the real deal. Not no. Oh wow, juice man, that's cold. Is it Aisha? I've probably pronounced that incorrectly. Weston the Gerontophile. There are people like that out there. At least he said 60 and not 16. Well, I mean, yeah. But we don't. I mean, that's not even a line. There's no line for that. 1 second, boys. Let me get this window open. Weston keeps a feather duster by his side. This is not the most outrageous thing that Weston has said in here. He's almost like so degenerate that his reputation can take no further of a beating. It's impossible. I feel like we're going back to the old days of Fight Night Frankie now. Impression of your brothers saying, "Why are you gay?" My brothers. Frankie is the man. Me saying I smashed a technical granny and then calling me the man is emblematic of this community, to be fair. What's a feather duster? Don't play innocent, mate. Don't play coy. Don't be coy with me, sir. Get braids, Frankie. My hair isn't long anymore. I've got like pictures of me with I used to have I had braided hair for like years. This is why this whole like musical accusation that I basically talk like a black man is really fair. I gave it a go. Just a bunch of feathers on a stick used to clean cobwebs. The fact that we related that to the 60-year-old, I'm moving on. Vintage Sunday stream. Yeah, this is back to the old days. This is why I don't stream on myself by myself too much, because you guys lure me into this kind of talk and I can't help myself. And then I end up revealing things about myself that have no business in the light of day. Clean out those catacombs. Aye, aye. Well, at least things are gonna hopefully. I mean, they can't get much worse than they've gotten in terms of MMA content or MMA to watch. I'll put it that way. I think we've hit a low. I'm gonna assume. I mean, next week's card isn't amazing, but surely it's not going to be as catastrophic as the wet turd we just got. Crossover collaboration with JVD. That is something I feel like we need. It was River Days in my town yesterday, which is basically a giant party on the river all weekend, and I got a little baddie's number yesterday, Frankie. I'm very happy for you, sir. I'm very happy for you. That sounds awesome. I mean, not the little baddie thing, because I don't know what your type is. But I didn't even know people had parties on rivers. That's awesome. What's your thoughts on musicals' impression of you? Heartbreakingly accurate, I would say. The thing is, yeah, I can't hear it. But the thing is, musical being from not far away from I am, he can detect things that others might not pick up on. So it's not a full expose, but it's pretty close to the truth. Pretty close. By the way, we've also got for those of you who know anything about Mr. Rigo, there is another classic video coming out this evening by our boy Brutally, who I think is turning up here at some point. So he's going to talk a little bit about that. He's been working on this video for some time, and I'm personally really, really excited. So make sure you check it out. Shoot the number, Ricky. Juice Man's looking to move in on your terrain already. She's a 9 out of 10 straight fire G. I used to work with her. Yeah, but your 9 out of 10 might be somebody else's 2 out of 10. It's a very subjective process, all of that. In Colorado, we party on the river and in the woods. I can't see how that would go wrong. Drinking and near a body of water is it sounds like a brilliant idea. Brutally is very funny. He is. He is. And he sent me a little sample of the video earlier, which by the way, no chill. You and I are actually in this video. I don't know if you're aware of that. I'm assuming he contacted you about it. We both make a special guest appearance in it. I'll put it that way. So if that doesn't give you an extra incentive to check it out, I don't know what will. And also, obviously, Bodak's going on at some point this evening as well. I think in about an hour. So hopefully it'll be a nice transition into that. Thoughts on Rigo having the longest win streak of 9 weeks on UFC predictions tracker? I don't think I don't think it makes up for all of his many when you say a 9-week streak, Do you mean where he had the most picks out or he got like 9 cards in a row fully stacked? Because if he did that, then fuck me, that's I still haven't got one yet. Frankie is a scared of the water typical wigger. I'm a superlative swimmer, sir. I'm a down under type swimmer, the best in the game. Frankie, would you sucker Jimmy Savile if he was still alive for the culture? You mean would I punch him out? I'd probably do a lot worse than that. I've got kids, mate. Like pedos are obviously deplorable in any walk of life, but when you have kids, it's just worse. Frankie, I only pull baddies. Who the fuck do you think I am? I believe you, bro. I believe you. It's nice when you can bump into somebody that you've got a pre-existing relationship as well, because it makes breaking the ice a lot easier, for sure. Thoughts on Rigo being a fucking monkey nonce? I mean, you certainly have a way of cutting through it, don't you? Um, the only thing disappointing about Rigo being what he is, I mean, the nonce stuff has never been proven, but he's definitely a groomer of like he's definitely closeted and he's definitely a bully. It was more like it was more like the anticlimax in the way that he got taken down was more disappointing to me. I was hoping there'd be some big public expose and that he'd be kicked off the platform and have a meltdown. So to lose his channel because of a university email is a really disappointing end to that shit story. Not gonna lie, that is impressive if he's winning over most of these big guys who do this job as a full time. I mean, picking MMA fights is not that impressive. I'm gonna be real. We all have good days and we all have bad days. And that's the great thing about the fight game. There's so many variables. Quite often we'll let our hearts get in the way of our heads. And sometimes it's just down to dumb luck, circumstances. There's too many things. I always get a bit kind of like I always look at it with a pinch of salt when people get too crazy about predicting MMA because it's not that big a deal. It is interesting, Fall. I'll give you that. Arrigo did it as full time until we took his income away because we felt like it. Did you have something to do with that? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, you Machiavellian fuck. Indeed, they need to bring back the deep end for nonces. The email. I reckon his channel got nuked. I said the exact same thing as well. I said he probably got one strike too many, and then this was a convenient excuse to put out to the public. But what's baffling to me is that he started a new channel, and I'm not sure if you're able to do that if you've been banned. Jax, how you doing, brother? Always good to see you here. If anyone knows about my long-standing hatred for Macy Barber, it's Jax from Making the Walk. I've always hated that cunt. Some luck is definitely involved, Usiles, exactly. Some luck is definitely involved. Fighters are retarded. They're always gonna, you know, the best laid plans never work out when it comes down to a fight. As we saw with Macy Barber yesterday. I mean, she's got in the cage multiple times, but the moment she's due to get out there, she fucking shit her pants. That email excuse had to involve photos, in my opinion. Yeah, there's no. I mean, the thing is, yeah, what he's saying adds up in terms of when your university email gets deactivated, your YouTube gets automatically deactivated as well. Because I've had situations of like that in the past where I'd sign up to YouTube with a work email, and then once they deactivated the email, the same thing happened. But if that's the reason, it's extremely stupid. I don't really get that. I mean, part of me is kind of if it happened to anybody else, I'd be like, oh, that's a rough way to lose your channel. But he's a scumbag, so fuck him. Andrew, I heard about you being cast as Captain America for the new Avengers movie. Well, we'd all watch that. Frankie, do you know what an Eton mess is? You best believe I do. I'm not really that much of a big fan of it. I mean, it's a shitty dessert by all accounts and very, very simple to make. I'm more of a rocky road man myself. And Sticky toffee pudding type guy. MMA Joey needs pills to get it up. Get it up for what? What's that fat cunt using his dick for? It's quite unusual for somebody to use dick pills just to beat off by themselves. Frank really just mad because he wanted to see the new rack. Lane, I'm gonna be real, yeah. I've said this multiple times. I am a fan of fake tits. I've never denied it. I'm an advocate for fake tits. I love them, and that's why I'm saying to you, let's not get on her back too much. I didn't really notice them though. It was only when people pointed them out. Because to be fair, I mean, she was an ironing board, so there obviously have been some enhancements there. Just wait until the end of your career before you do shit like that. Cherry Garcia is the best ice cream, and I used to be a mint chocolate chip guy as well. I'm not really much of a dessert person now. The older I get, it's just hard to shift that shit. But Cherry Garcia is pretty good. You have some wild fucking flavors out there. Yeah, all the Thai boys you smash have fake teats, Frankie. Exactly. I will say this though, fake tits are nicer to look at than they are to actually touch. Because when you actually touch fake tits, they are gross. They feel weird. Anyone who's done so can certainly empathize. And they look weird. They more look good to enhance, like, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but whatever. They more look good to like enhance the cleavage, but when you get them out, they also look a bit weird. So maybe I'm not as big of a fan of them as I'm claiming to be. Anything fake on a female is a boner killer for me. What other fake things have you encountered, Juice Man? And am I going to regret asking that question? Rigo deserved this channel to be deleted so much. Yeah, John Dong. The issue that I had with Rigo more than anything else, because I don't really think he's a nonce. I do think he's gay, and I do think I've said this multiple, and he's definitely a bully. What I really hate about him or disliked about him is that he clearly thought he held power over people so badly. Like the way that he treated people like Lost Soul MMA, who turned out to be a bit of a cunt himself. But he's just a bit of a bully. Somebody like that can't have any kind of power or authority because they just use it in a bad way. Have you waxed poetic about why you think UFC has hit an all-time low yet? We haven't even got started, mate. I take sand in a sock over stretched out fakes every time. Sand in a sock, is that a thing? Let me write that down. Give that a whirl. Fuck mint chocolate chip. That's my ex-wife's favorite. I mean, that's a bad reason to stop eating something you enjoy, though. Lips, yeah, lips. There's somebody that I work with right now who's Botoxed up to hell and has like fake lips and stuff, and it just looks shit. I don't know why anyone would enhance their lips like that. It never looks good. I've maintained this about any kind of cosmetic surgery at all. Don't do it until they get it right. It's like with hair plugs. Do you remember how they used to be like years ago? They looked proper shit. It looked like little insect legs sticking from the top of your scalp. And now the shit actually looks cold. Don't be injecting shit into yourself where they haven't they haven't ironed out the kinks yet. But Westy, get yourself back on mint chocolate chip. Don't be a salty fuck. Enjoy the stuff that you enjoy. Because if you let past experiences ruin it, that's a real shame. What did David Panda say? Do you know what's crazy? I have screenshots of John Dong sucking Rigo off in chat, talking about him supporting him, and then just snakes him. I mean, David Panda, you can be an active member of somebody's chat and then stab them in the back. Well, no, I mean, that came out wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can have a dual opinion about somebody. You can enjoy Rigo's I mean, I don't know why you would. You can enjoy Rigo's content and then also think he's a cunt. Like the two things aren't mutually exclusive. Panda, you're riding Rigo like so hard. I mean, Rigo for all the, he's done well to generate himself a little bit of a cult. I'll give him that much. You never liked mint chocolate chip anyway. You're doing a lot of backtracking today, Westy. but I love you, so I'm gonna let it slide. Frankie, are you married or single? My marital status is not for public discussion because I've dug a lot of dirty graves and I don't want to ruin it for myself. But I certainly have a wealth of experience. Let's put it that way. How we doing, Brutal?
How you doing, son? How you doing? The camera's not working again. Fucking hell.
Fuck's sake. Well, I had the mic problem yesterday, so I'm just glad people aren't bitching about that today. You've done a lot of verticals in the past, Jeff. Have you noticed any difference when you do them?
It's hit and miss. So sometimes you can get like loads of people flooding in. Other times you can get no one. Which is,
No, I mean,
I know.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Go on. In terms of what?
No, I mean in terms of like audio quality and stream quality, because a lot of people were complaining that it was glitching quite a lot and there was all that shit. So
Oh shit. No. What were you
no,
doing it on? Restream.
restream, yeah.
Oh.
I did have a lot of people suddenly flood in, which was quite like it, because I think that's what it does. I think when you first do a vertical, it lands in a lot of couple people's feeds, and then people realize I'm a cunt, and then jump off immediately, and then it doesn't spread any further than that.
This is why I think Geo gets a lot of subscribers, because the vertical streams push it out to middle-aged women who are scrolling through, like doom scrolling. The husbands are playing a game or watching sports, and the wife's on a fucking chair or in the bedroom, and she's fucking doom scrolling, and then she sees Geo and she thinks, oh hey up. I'll sub to this guy. It ends up being a fucking guilty pleasure while the husband's busy.
That's a very specific theory you've got there. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a little bit of the older female demographic in here, because you know that we're kind of known, our reputation for that around here is quite solid. Having 3 entire real women in the chat at times, an entire 3. So yeah, tell us more about this video you're going to be releasing. Like, obviously, don't reveal too much because I want to be surprised. But this has been a long time in the making, yeah.
Yeah, I actually got a message from the near saying, what did she say? Because I've drove her up the wall with the fucking songs that I've been making. She's like, you best send me this video that's been invading my brain for the last 5 months. So it's been a long time in the making. A long
Yeah, because
fucking
I
time.
remember you mentioning it when you took well, you didn't really take a hiatus, but there was a time when you took a little bit of time off, and it was mentioned back then.
Yeah, so I just want to do a bit of a different twist. And what I want to do is push it out to a wider audience, because I know you were talking about it, and I get what you're saying. I don't think he's a natural pedo, but at the same time, he's crossing those pedo boundaries. Like, I don't
It's
know
more that
many grown men.
he harbors pedos for sure, and he's
Yeah, but
definitely a groomer.
some of the stuff he says, mate, some of the stuff he says, like he talks about pinning children down and raping them as a joke.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what I think it is with him? Yeah, I think like because I think he tries to land on the side of like edgy humor.
Oh
I
yeah,
think that's
I
kind of
think
his side.
that's what it is. It's like he's going for this like gallows humor, but it's not. What he's doing is just bang out of order. It's crossing lines. If you don't want to be associated, like for me, there's 2 things that I'd never fucking go near, and that is like sexually assaulting women and fucking pedophilia. Like,
Nonsense.
yeah,
Yeah.
nonsense. I want to distance myself away from that shit, because I don't want to be associated with it in any way, shape, or form. I'm very much against it. And if I knew someone, I'd fucking get a bat and I'd take it to the fucking skull. That's how
Yeah.
strongly I feel against it. Like, but
And the
for
problem with that
people,
kind of humor is sometimes people don't understand it's a joke, and that's where the problem lies. Because when you get people
the,
who are retarded, and there's a lot of
the
retarded people on the internet.
there's jokes, and then there's things like what one streamer was going into how he got assaulted and he was telling his chat about how he got assaulted, and then Rigo just mocks him for it and starts making jokes about it. He starts going, "What if Peyton Talbot did that to you?" Like, for me, that's that, you know, like, he's just opened up. He shouldn't have done it. But this is what we get when you have like 16, 17-year-olds and 15-year-olds on the internet. They're fucking idiots. He said something that he shouldn't have said. And then Rigo, as a fucking grown man, took advantage and started mocking him for it. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of worries me about his whole, because he seems to have, like, obviously he's we might as well talk about him for a bit, seeing as it's leading up to what you're doing. The thing that really got me off about him was not got me off, that was the wrong way of putting that. or put me off about him. Fuck, that was a bad slip of the tongue. The thing that put me off about him was he seems to have established like kind of a lot of, you know, sort of younger, let's just say impressionable
Yes.
creators that he's obviously manipulating into, I'll give you a shout out and that kind of stuff.
100%.
Which is it's a very, very dangerous game to play. And it was something about him that just really got my back up, because it's like there's obviously tactics people use to grow their channels. We've all seen it. We've all been part of it.
What he was doing is very, very, like, there's tactics and there's people. What he is, and you can see it carries over into the streaming world. He's a very, very manipulative man. And you can see that from a mile off. The way he goes about and interacts with people, the way he forms his little groups. Like, we formed a group, and it's brothers. We've got a brotherhood. We play games. We meet up at events. We have a beer.
Yeah.
The way he manipulates people, he uses his little like his little fame that he's got on YouTube, and then he starts manipulating younger viewers, because he didn't come into mine. Like, he's never spoke to me. I've seen him.
He avoids certain people for sure. Like, he's aware of people like No Chill, like yourself, like Musical. Like, he completely ignores.
Why is that though? Why is that? Because he's looking
he knows what's
for the exactly. He's looking for those he can influence. That, to me, is someone who's calculated and fucking. He's looking for it. He's predatory.
Predatory is a good word.
He's not just stumbling on this and it's just happened. He is actively seeking people out to fucking abuse, and that's what I don't like about him. He's a scumbag.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he deserves whatever's coming to him. But that's why I'm particularly excited about this one, because when you put time and effort into something like this, it's usually.
Oh, believe me, I could be deleted off YouTube this week.
Personally, I think it's a risk worth taking.
It's going to be interesting. The thumbnail, I'm just in the middle of making a thumbnail. I'm calling it the real Mr. Beast of YouTube. And then it's got a picture of Mr. Beast, because I want it to go fucking to the wider audience, not the MMA community. That's what I'm hoping to push it into the algorithm of the wider audience. People are going to see Mr. Beast. They're going to see the thumbnail. They're going to see the title, the worst person on YouTube, the worst man on YouTube. And
people love looking up stuff like that.
Exactly. So I'm hoping the MMA fan base get into the algorithm, my subscribers in the community, and then I'm hoping it gets taken to the wider audience, because this man should not be on fucking YouTube. And Eagle MMA. Eagle MMA is disgusting.
Eagle MMA for me is even worse.
Oh, he is.
Like, in a lot of ways. I think he's, the whole, because I only became aware of him with the whole again, it was with that what's his face? Hang on, Bodak just pulled up. That Lost Soul MMA, that guy who's a bit.
That's some boys.
Slow. How's it going, bro?
Good.
Congratulations on 500 subs. I want to say it to you.
Yo.
Thank you very much.
Big milestone.
It is, yes. Very buzzing. I've already got the monetization application running. Getting straight in there.
Oh, nice. For those people who don't know, who are on who are thinking of making channels themselves, what is the difference between the 500 sub one and when you hit 1,000? Is there a big difference?
What do you mean?
In terms of because I think the monetization thing is different.
Yeah, the one I can apply for super chats, but you have to get to 1,000 subs before they'll run ads.
Okay, and that's where you can make
I'd
money
never
from the
turn that
actual
on
view
anyway though,
counts.
because it's fucking hate.
Yeah,
ads.
I don't want ads in my videos either.
Yeah, I'd like the supers. I'm gonna that'd be enough for me, I reckon.
Can you
Imagine running
get
ads every
memberships
20
from that
minutes
as
at
well?
everyone's head in. What's that?
Yeah, that'd be awful. Can you get memberships as well at 500?
I think so. Yeah.
So those are basically the two best things. Like I'd imagine most people live and survive on, because I think the money you get from actual ad revenue and YouTube views is fucking minuscule.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like expecting to hit 500 and suddenly become a millionaire. I reckon it'd be like a quid here and there. You need thousands and thousands of subs to, turn it into something noticeable. Like in your income. That's what I reckon.
And I think it kind of helps that if it's something you're doing as like a passion, which it is for most of us, we just do it because we enjoy the community aspect of it. It costs money to do certain things like buying camera equipment, buying editing equipment, buying, video software equipment, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have
videos, even just making videos like this. Videos cost me over £200 easy, just on software, buying stuff.
And it's a time thing as well. It's time you could be using to do fuck knows what else.
Yeah. I've just spent another 300 quid on a microphone just because my gaming rig didn't have a good microphone and it sounded shit. It's like, we invest a lot into the streaming.
I know I wasn't aware that you were buying another mic. Is there any way you can return it? It's a Shure one, yeah?
It's an SM7B, yeah.
Is there any way you can return it?
Why?
Because I've got a spare one.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I can just send it to you. I didn't know you were buying one. So I can send,
the thing is, Frankie, I'm going to be buying more because I want to I want to do like a remote. I want to go remote and do podcasts and stuff at some point. So I want to like get people around a table all with a decent mic.
Okay.
Oh, you know what you want? I've got too many mics. What the fuck have I got? I've got like
SM58?
wireless mics. No,
the wireless mics.
Yeah, I've got some wireless mics that cost like 500 quid. Fucking hell, I don't even know where they are. Fuck me, but they're so good. They're really fucking good.
Do you know when we meet up in summer or for fight week, if that's still happening, we are going to be like doing stuff, aren't we? It'd be nice to have a couple of decent mics with us and that.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, we might do a little test run for this BKFC thing just to record a few things and see how that goes. I'm not sure what kind of content we do around it, but maybe that's something to discuss down the line.
Yeah, you definitely got to use it though. Can't go to BKFC and not do something.
Yeah, we've rented a nice little pad as well. So are you totally busy throughout the whole weekend?
I am, yeah. I'm going to be up in Scotland.
You've got a wedding, don't you? Oh yeah, that should be nice.
Yeah. Got a whole weekend planned there. It's like I'm gutted though because I really want to like meet you guys. It's got
there'll be other
it's be a good night.
Anyway. There will be.
Yeah. We've got the fight week, aren't we? I thought a bunch of us were going to try and get together and go during International Fight Week.
I think that will be in July. Yeah.
Oh, did we say International Fight Week, or did we say when's it? Who's on for the Drickus card? Is Drickus Fight Week?
I think that would be a great one to do. I think that card's going to be massive. I think we could definitely swing that.
Yeah. I'd say that's the better card. Drickus versus Amzat.
I mean, it's the only fight that's really huge this year. Like that feels box office. Like I know the Tapuria fight's pretty good as well, but it's not as big as it could have been. I think that Drickus and Hamzat fight is genuinely divided people.
Yeah,
I want to see that fight.
Yeah, I'm big on that one because there's nothing much else to look forward to. I mean, if we ever get Tom and John, we've got to meet up for that, whenever that is.
Who's Tom and John?
Tom Aspinall and John.
Tom
Jones.
Aspinall and John.
Okay. I thought you were
I think
talking about
that'd be
real
a good
people.
I did at first. You threw me off. I was like, "Who the fuck's Tom?"
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why I addressed it as Tom. That was a weird way of doing it. I don't know what I was thinking there.
I know.
I know, but you like talking about them like they're mates of yours. Oh yeah, yeah Tom and
Well, yeah,
John.
two of my
they'll be
mates are gonna have a scrap. We should turn up for that. Fuck me. I think that card has given me brain rot. I've been stumbling over my words today. It's just been an all-round waste of a weekend so far.
Yeah, I didn't stay up for the rest of the card in the end. I ducked the last 3 fights.
Lucky for you, man.
Oh, did you stay up for the whole thing? Did you?
I did, yeah. I mean, I was fairly happy with the Gamrot performance. I've been saying I'm a big fan of his. Like he's very. I think he gets a lot of shit for being boring, and I don't think he is. And he's one of those guys who's in a very similar position to what Evloev's going through at the moment, where no matter how much of a winning streak he went on, and who he beat, he just can't seem to get given a title shot. They seem to be holding him back for some reason or another. So I'm kind of pipping for him to do well, or hoping he'll do well, because I quite like the guy. But outside of that, I don't think it was that bad a card, if I'm being real.
The opening fight was strong. Yeah, there was finishes. Yeah.
We got a standing guillotine, which we don't get that often. There were a few like nice little scraps in there. I didn't think it's not the worst card we've had this year, not by a long shot. Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Has something gone wrong here?
No, you went on you went on and came back on.
Oh yeah. No, I think I said what I said. Do you remember what I said last in one of the other streams of yours? I always feel like when I'm watching the cards, it feels like the quality gradually gets worse as the card progresses. And that this card was another one.
You've been unlucky. You've been unlucky. You becoming like an MMA like enthusiast in terms of watching it every week. You probably picked the worst time to do so. In terms of like just what the quality of the cards has been like and what the general enthusiasm has been like around the product in general. But the community aspect of it is still what keeps it going, because I think that's why I still watch it, because I think I would have given up if I wasn't on YouTube now and talking about it. I think I would have stopped watching cards and just occasionally tuned in when there was something that caught my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think should hopefully improve. But yeah, the BKFC one, we've definitely got to do something for that.
Yeah, I'm glad I can't join you guys, man. I would have loved to join. Fucking weddings and family.
Oh, is it a family wedding?
Yeah, it's the only. If it was like a casual wedding, I might have ducked out. But yeah, I've got involvement as well.
Are you bringing the missus along? No, not the missus, but the. I was going to say significant other. That's not right either.
I don't even know if she's still that at the minute. We're not getting along. But yeah, if we can figure it out, yeah, she'll be coming.
Sounds good. It's always a missed opportunity to bring a +1 to a wedding, I used to find.
Oh, definitely. It fucking sucks going to a wedding on your own. Plus, like, even though it's family, there'll be hardly anyone there that I want to talk to. You know what I mean? There'll be a few cousins to have a laugh with. But it's like distant aunties and uncles. You know what I mean? It's like once you've had a little chit chat, you know what I mean? You got to find your buddy. But if you take your +1 with you, you got company for the evening, haven't you? So it's lovely.
Yeah. And Scotland's a nice place to do so as well. I mean, it's for all the shit that Scotland gets, it's quite a nice place to visit.
Yeah, it's going to be on the it's going to be the venue. It's going to have Loch Lomond. It's like nice. Just on the as you go out the back. Loch Lomond is gorgeous. The weather's looking good, I reckon. June, hopefully this heat waves they're talking about will kick in. I'm looking forward.
I feel like it's been very hot around here for a while though. I feel like we've had a good start to spring. Like it's been relatively warmer than it usually is.
Yeah, it's been nice.
It's so British of us talking about the weather, isn't it? It's such a quintessentially British thing to get into.
Oh, I wonder what the weather's going to be like when Brutal posts this video. I can't believe the AI made my mouth move. I haven't found an AI that picks up Bodak's face yet.
Really?
Yeah, he's bringing the A game. My mouth looks so like I want people to look out for this. The clip you sent of me. I mean, my mouth is weird anyway, but fucking hell, it looks so weird.
You look like a completely different person.
I mean, I laughed out loud when you said it to me.
The only person that looks the same is fucking No Chill.
Do you know who actually looks better? Not better, but you know, Geo looks quite good in his.
Yeah, it's enhanced
it
him.
didn't completely.
It's made him
Because you
look
can
less like a retard.
It moves his
Maybe
tongue
that-
though. Gilly doesn't move his tongue when he talks.
I haven't know. Now that you've pointed that out, I'm gonna. I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
gonna be able
going to
to
be
unsee
checking.
it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that
It's
makes
fine.
sense because he slays, doesn't he? Where he talks like
Yeah.
he's had like 20 pints.
Yeah, I remember when we were beefing, I kept telling him to stop dribbling down the camera when he was talking to me. And stuff. But yeah, the AI made him look like he actually pronounced his words fully.
Because I think his one's in black and white, if I remember. Maybe I'm misremembering that. That might have helped. Maybe there's a thing with
it
that.
was in normal. Should be.
I don't know. Maybe I'm this. Maybe I'm having an aneurysm. I'm in the middle of one, like a slow one. But no, I'm very. How long is the video roughly?
It's 24 minutes and 38 seconds.
Jesus. And can you give us like a sneak preview of what it covers, or is that saying too much?
In what way do you want a video clip or?
I mean, yeah, you're more than welcome to share something. That'd be sweet, just to give people a little taster of what to expect. Because I'm very interested. I've been waiting for this for a while. I'm quite excited. Like musicals one was amazing. I think I was expecting that to be the death knell for this guy, and maybe it was. Like that did very well.
I don't know how I'm going.
Is musical joining tonight?
He mentioned that he might. Like I sent him a link. He's got an open invitation to turn up whenever he wants.
Okay.
Same thing as I do with you guys, really.
Yeah, I think he might be at a gig tonight as well. I remember him saying he's got a gig.
Yeah. Yeah, he
So
mentioned.
I'm a bit confused. Yeah, I saw him in the thumbnails, but is he joining? I thought he wasn't here. But yeah, never mind.
All right, hang on a second. We've got a. All right.
Right.
All right, let's have a look. Hopefully,
test the audio first. See if it works.
Let's have a look. Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not going to work then, is it? Yeah, it's just I've only got screen sharing. Hang on. Yeah, it's not going.
So what time have you scheduled it to go up tonight, or is it going to be? Have you still not worked it out?
It's uploading now.
Oh, nice! Wow. So yeah, we'll make sure that we do you have when you
no audio
when you've got a link for it, we'll make sure we post that up before we head off, and obviously try and plug it as much as we can on all the socials and stuff. See if we can get it pushed around. And I implore everyone to do the same, because this rat needs to be exterminated.
Well, are you streaming straight after Frankie Bodak?
Yeah, well, I've changed my setup now, so I don't actually have to leave. I can go live, and I'll literally show Frankie's on mine, and then just whenever Frankie goes offline,
I feel like you are
literally
up
go
in the
cycle.
fucking. I feel like you're adding something new every week.
Well, yeah, because I'm trying to make this shit work so we can have like this seamless flow. Like, because it sucks that I have to duck out, then fuck off for 20 minutes, and then get all my stream ready and stuff. So this time, you can just relax, mate. As soon as you're offline, I'll already be online, and it will just hopefully.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm just trying because I can't do the restream like you because the way my setup works. But I figured out if I'm on someone else's restream, I can then make it work with my setup. So what everyone sees right now on their screen, they'll see exactly that on mine.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm quite a big fan of Restream. I think it works quite well.
I use it when I'm
StreamYard.
streaming, but that's to actually literally restream because I'm on like 10 different things.
No, it sounds complicated. Yeah,
That's good.
So
spread out a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, and you're back to your regular schedule of like Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, right?
Yes. Yeah. I've a few things have changed. I got Sundays now. Basically, I get Sunday to prep everything and do all that. I was struggling for time, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice when you actually have like a missus who actually takes it seriously. You tell them like, yeah, because like I tell you what, right? When you're doing this YouTube and lark, I remember when I was single about a year and a half ago, I was actually quite reluctant to bring it up on like Tinder and Bumble and stuff because I thought, is this girl gonna look at me like, what the fuck does he mean? He's got a YouTube channel. What is he like? You don't know how a woman's gonna take that, do you? Like maybe some of them will might get the ick or something. I don't know. Like,
Oh,
I don't know why. On the dating scene, I was just embarrassed.
Don't ever say that word. I fucking hate it. That fucking horrible fucking Love Island chavvy fucking word, man. Oh, it
What
goes
word?
through me. Ick.
What one?
Oh, the fucking
Oh, the ick.
Ick. I hate that word. It's so fucking
It's
horrible.
a very visceral. It's a very visceral word because it's like when somebody says moist. There's something about it.
Moist.
It just has an effect. Moist.
Yeah, I had an ex. If you said that word, her skin would crawl. Like she couldn't bear anyone saying that word.
What, moist?
Yeah. Honestly,
There's a lot of people out there who react badly to that word.
Towards
weird,
the end, did you just keep saying it?
Well, of course, yeah. I used to do it just to wind her up. We get
so
like she'd bake a cake and stuff. She'd bake a cake because she was into baking, and she wouldn't let me taste it while she was in the room because she'd know I was going. Oh, it's nice and moist. She fucking honestly, it's so weird. Yeah, honestly, but she's not the only one. It's actually really common. There's loads of people out there. There's just certain words. It's like
yeah.
It's not like.
Hello?
Oh, hang on, let's get. No, we're getting back in. Hang on. Sorry, say that again.
What the fuck? No, I was just saying that the word, it's like nails on a chalkboard. That kind of reaction.
Yeah,
That's what it gives them. They just can't bear it.
I don't really get it with. I get it with ick or icky, but like moist is a bit of a weird one to me. I don't get that. But what you're saying though about like not sharing I try to do that as much as possible. You know, in terms of like a lot of people in my personal life don't even know that I'm on YouTube.
Yeah,
I don't bring it up.
I don't bring it up at work or anything like that. I keep it all quiet.
I definitely wouldn't want people at work knowing what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, some people have found out at my work.
And how has it gone down?
Luckily, the person that found it is part of my little like they get me more like rather than the right people have found it. Put it that way. And I don't know if they found my YouTube, but they found my TikTok, which links to my YouTube. So I'm assuming now they've got the brand name, they can search it. I
don't imagine there'd be anything too damaging anyway. Like, do you know what I mean?
Mate, I did a whole stream making rape jokes, didn't I? I just kept saying to the nurse, I just kept saying, don't get raped.
I mean, I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah. The job that I had until last summer, they would have absolutely fired me if they'd have found my channel.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Like offices and workplaces, they're so LGBTQ plus friendly now. Like,
you've got to remember I'm in Cambridge as well. Cambridge is the most
very conservative place.
No, it's not. Cambridge is the most woke place in the whole of the UK.
I thought it was Bristol and Brighton.
Yeah, it's not. No. Cambridge has taken over. It's the most liberal place. When you look at all the pro-Palestine and all that bullshit, it's all happening in Cambridge. All the vandalism and stuff is all on a Cambridge University.
Is that because like the uni students, I'm guessing, are a big part of that?
Just students, just woke students.
Makes sense.
Well,
half the population is students.
It proves that the fucking education system is indoctrinating fucking the liberalism all through the fucking schools and unis.
Yeah, when you go through Cambridge, go anywhere near student housing, and there's like Palestine and Ukrainian and LGBTQ flags hanging out of all the windows. Honestly, it looks like a fucking cult.
Yeah, the trouble that I have with the whole woke movement is like they're very much about inclusion for themselves, but then they're very, much the opposite about when you have opposing views to them. So it's like you've got to accept our way of seeing things, and that's it. So it's like accept us, but they can't have any acceptance of you going against things that they believe in and things that they say, which is is the major problem I have with the whole movement to begin with, really.
Yeah, but you're talking to lunatics who think words are violence. They think like if you don't want trans people in fucking skimpy outfits dancing around in front of children, if you think that's unacceptable, they call you
should be able to say
transphobic.
that.
You're like, yeah. If that's that's the only thing that actually does scare me. Is like, get the fuck away from the kids. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It does scare
It's like
me.
you're
Your
not allowed to.
influence
You're
on
not
children.
allowed.
It scares
Yeah,
me.
and you're not allowed to be offended by it anymore.
But
As well,
yeah.
it's like you can't.
They won't even define what a woman is.
It's yeah. Well, I always remember what I can't remember his name, but that guy he says that he does all them. He goes to unis and he debates all the students and stuff. I can't. Charlie something he's called, and he said that they're reducing women to a costume. That's what they're doing. They're reducing women as a costume, and I think he's right.
They're wearing
it's not
woman
a costume.
face. Yeah. It's woman
I'm
face.
surprised more women. It's funny that so many women support it as well, and they're blatantly being like deconstructed and like.
Yeah, but let's face it, women don't have the biggest brains, do they?
And that's it is. I feel like it's changing with the women. I think the women are starting to realize actually, you know, when especially at the Olympics when you see the female boxing final was two trans people. So it's basically two men fighting in the final of the women's boxing.
Which was hilarious, by the way.
It was fucking funny, but I think women are realizing now that by trans rights are actually an attack on women. Yeah, it's anti-woman. To give them rights, you have to strip women of theirs. And I think they're clocking on now. So I don't think it's got much legs. I don't think there's much legs in it left.
But I think that's why they push this so hard and aggressively into the mainstream in the first place, so that we could say we've given you your chance to champion your way of thinking, and then to enable the whole mass population to then rebel against it, so that when it's rejected, finally it will be our choice as opposed to them seeming to take it away from us. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Because I feel like it's so aggressively being shoved down our throats now that we're like, people are getting sick of it, and people are no longer afraid to talk against it as well.
Oh yeah, I think, but like that's what I mean. I think is changing, because the other thing is YouTube wouldn't have tolerated these conversations 5 years ago. But you look, I watch Piers Morgan and podcast Andrew Wilson. I watch them all the time talk about this stuff, and they're good. So I think everything's easing up. I think common sense is starting to break through. It's a long way to go. Things are still fucking unhinged, but I feel like people are starting to level out a little bit. I think COVID might have just made us all a bit fucking crazy for a while.
Yeah, I can say this from like a personal standpoint as well, because what you're saying about things leaking into the education system is a big problem. Because one of the obstacles I encountered when I first got back into teaching mainstream here was an insistence that the curriculum had to have a very heavy, like, kind of trans, gay, like the literature had to scatter it throughout most of my units, and it was something that I refused to do, or I wouldn't take the job. And it was something that I got a lot of pushback on, where there seemed to be an insistence that no, we've got to have very much literature that's very centric on these kind of themes.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've got a problem with, because it's acceptance is one thing, but again, this thing of pushing it down people's throats is where I have the problem.
Yeah, you get a lot of it in
who are confused enough.
Yeah, it's in the FA as well, by the way, the English FA. When you because I coach grassroots football, so obviously you got to learn. You get loads of literature and stuff, and it's full of it. It's full of all that bollocks.
Very dangerous.
Trans
I don't
this,
like
inclusive that. Yeah. And is it? Yeah. It's madness, mate. Yeah, the whole everything, every institution. It's institutionalized insanity at the moment, but reform's on the way. The pressure's on, isn't it? So if the people in power don't fucking change tune, they're going to hand it over. People don't. The other thing about all this bullshit is people didn't. I don't think people understood just how big an impact it was having, because I think especially on the left side, they just think it's some non-issue. They think it's some silly thing. It's like, oh, why is that such a big deal to you? I don't think people realize it's a fucking big deal. Like, you can't let them have an inch. If you let insanity have an inch, it will take a mile, and you don't know where it's going to lead to if we just roll over and let them have their way, and just let them live in delusional, whatever you want to call it, mental illness. And it is mental illness. It has. I mean, what is it? It's called gender dysmorphia or something like that. It was already a diagnosable mental, psychological or mental condition, we can just revert back to that, can't we?
Yeah, it's being far too normalized now. And
Yeah.
it's only going to breed more instances of it, like more confusion, because anybody who has this kind of dysmorphia or this kind of issue, there's deeply rooted psychological problems there that are only going to manifest themselves in different ways and dangerous ways. So it's, like I said, it's a very slippery slope to get down. But I maintain that this is all just to let them kind of shoot themselves in the foot with this it's like let them have the platform so that we can all get fed up with it and eventually collectively push against it.
Yeah. Have you heard about the female prisons?
No.
They're trans people who get sentenced to prison are sent to a female prison, and they're quite
I have
literally
heard
like,
about this.
yeah,
Going and fucking everyone,
they're like,
obviously.
there's like pregnancies and
Raping.
fucking rapes.
Obviously
and,
there is.
all of it.
Of course there is.
Well,
It's fucking madness, though.
I remember when I looked into it, and the recently they were posting something happened with trans rights, and they were marveling about it, saying that you shouldn't be worried about changing rooms and stuff like this. And I looked at the data. Most trans crimes are sexual assaults.
Mm-hmm.
So why you know, like they're not fucking robbing houses or doing fraud. Most trans crimes are actually sexual assault. So yeah, there is a reason why people are worried. It's not like we're just making shit up.
Yeah, and a lot of these, like, and the research that they put into it as well is that a lot of people who become trans down the line have been victims of like sexual assault in the past as well.
Which is again another indicator that most people who've been assaulted as a child, it's unfortunate, but they go on to become assaulters.
The statistics prove that. It's like a victim. It's like what do you call it? The victim inversion theory, isn't it? It's like
some of them just see it as normal as well. Like they grow up, and that's what they grew, like severe abuse anyway. They grew up under severe abuse, and it warps their mind to that's their norm. Like, oh, my dad did it, my uncle did it, Auntie Karen fucking did it. So you know,
just becomes normalized. It's like how when you see other cultures, because we talk about places like Thailand and stuff a lot. This is why stuff like that is so rife over there, because again, it's become part of almost like the culture and part of the accepted way of doing things. So you find that, because obviously a lot of families, they sell their daughters into the sex trade, and then when they end up having sons and they need to sell their sons off, this is where the whole thing comes of them pumping them with drugs and giving them things that feminize them. And so it's a culture, you know, and we're giving us, it's obviously not going to be the same here, but by accepting this shit and normalizing it, we're setting ourselves up for generations of just fucked up views on it.
Yeah. Well, we've already got that, haven't we? The last couple of generations are fucked up.
Yeah.
But I do have hope. I think we're getting through it. And I've got kids who are teenagers. Nothing to do with me. They're just based as fuck. Because the best thing about kids is, what do? What do? They always rebel. And they've just been raised by the fucking woke mafia. And they're rebelling against it. The same way we did in the 90s and the 2000s. The kids rebel. So they're basically getting to 16 thinking, fuck me, no more rainbow flags. They're finally out of that fucking insane asylum. They're based as fuck, mate. They go home straight away and they're listening to people like Paul Joseph Watson and stuff. That's who's actually getting through to kids. So thankfully, the majority of those kids coming out of these schools aren't fucking mental. I've got hope, Frankie. I've got hope.
I don't I'm particularly worried because like I've got most of my kids my two oldest kids are women or young women now. So like I feel like there's different dangers to that. But now I've got a son. I'm like, as soon as he gets to like a certain age, I'm getting the fuck out of here, mate.
Getting out of the country?
Yeah.
I thought about that, you know. Where would you go?
Probably back to somewhere in Asia, I'd imagine. Middle East is not too bad as well. I spent a lot of time there. Anywhere that's sort of very viscerally against this kind of shit, because I don't want it. Because if my son comes home one day and says, "I want to be a girl,"
Dubai for a couple of years.
Dubai's pretty nice.
I've heard that you don't get, there's no income tax and stuff there, so you can just rake it in for a couple of years and then sort yourself out when you go somewhere else.
That's
problem
basically how
is
I set myself up. Sorry, Brutally, go on.
is Dubai I'm just assuming that it's a Muslim country. I've not really looked
It
into
is.
it, but
Yeah.
it is a Muslim country. I just don't think I could go from one
There's
set of rules to another.
There's different severities though. So the thing about the region, you've got, so I've spent time in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Dubai, and UAE, and they
Yeah.
also Oman as well, and they've got very different levels of severity. So like for example, like Bahrain I'd have as like at the top of the at the top of the chain in terms of it's a lot more liberal there, where there's you can drink wherever you want. And what's ironic is you get a lot of the people from, and I'd say Saudi Arabia is probably among one of the more strict in terms of where they are within the borders. But what you find is that people who are from Saudi Arabia will go to countries like Dubai and Bahrain to go and do fucked up shit there. So they'll go there and they'll do drugs and they'll fuck around and drink and all that kind of stuff, and then go back and assimilate back into what they're used to within their own cultures. So the Middle East as a region is very diversified within itself as well, and there's a definite scale in terms of how strict it is there. Like I'll give you an example. In Kuwait, a few years ago, I went there for a hookup here. So there was a girl that I met who I was hooking up with in Qatar, and she moved to Kuwait, and I went there to go hook up with her, and I booked a hotel and everything. And when we got in, the guy at the desk point blank refused to let her in and said he needed to see a marriage license. And I'm like, I don't fucking walk around with a, and I ended up arguing with this guy for like 45 minutes and then just gave up, went home without getting my dick wet, which I was very upset about. But that doesn't happen in every Middle Eastern country. There's different severities depending on where it is.
Right. I just don't
And
know.
I would say
I
Dubai.
trust
I would say
myself
Dubai.
to not get fucking locked up.
It's not in places like, I would say that Saudi Arabia is probably the most strict, and then I'd say probably or Kuwait, one of those two, and then Qatar is probably the next stage up. But if you're going to go to the Middle East and take advantage of that, I would say Dubai and Bahrain are probably the two best to go to, because it's the same thing, no income tax, the salaries are high, the weather's obviously, if anything, it's almost too hot, but it's not as strict in terms of they're asking. It's kind of just ignored.
My thought process is, when she said to Dubai, I had the same concerns as Brutal. I don't much fancy going to a Muslim country, but for me, I thought it's going to be strict. Apparently, like if I was with her, and we wouldn't be able to hold hands or anything in public. You got to keep your distance
like
and all
that.
that shit. It's not like that, no?
No.
That's what she
It's
said.
not like
That's
that.
what she said.
I
I'm
was
talking about Dubai.
literally, no, I mean, I was literally like, I got more asked than I ever got in my life in those countries, funnily enough. And it was very much like, again, it depends. You wouldn't get away with that in somewhere like Saudi Arabia or Kuwait. You get fucking, you'd be in big trouble almost immediately. And what they do is they would remove your visa and kick you out. You wouldn't get like a thrown in jail or anything like that. You'd just be thrown out of the country.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
yeah,
I mean, it's a bit harsh,
places like Qatar, yeah.
But I'm just thinking, I know that there's just a few extra rules that you don't really get in Europe that you'd have to tolerate. So there's just a few more rules at least, isn't there? But I thought the way she describes it is, you go to somewhere like Dubai and just be there for a year or so, and you make so much money because not only the wage is massive, there's no tax.
Yeah, there's no the
And
wage.
just bring that
also
back
as well, whatever role you get, they give you an accommodation allowance as well on top of what your salary is, or they give you somewhere to live.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, for most people,
you just stay there long enough, you just come back to England and buy a house outright. That's the kind of money you'll earn out there if you've got the right kind of job.
That is precisely what I did. Like I was there for 2 years, and because obviously I went out there as an educator, but I didn't just work my full-time job. I also taught, like I private tutored and stuff on the side, and I was getting £150 an hour, and I was teaching six additional hours a day.
Fucking hell! So you rinsed it then?
Rinsed it. I probably made, no joke, about $500,000 in 2 years, all in all.
What? Fucking hell! No tax.
No tax.
Yeah.
No tax. No. Like I said, no. You don't have to pay for accommodation, which is everyone's biggest expense. So there's that aspect of it, and there's plenty of opportunities to do extra work as well. Because obviously, if you're an English speaker, even if you're not out there teaching or whatever, you can get a job on the side doing stuff like that as well. So the things you hear are not that bad. Yeah, God.
What worries me, it's more the shit I say online rather than fucking.
Just use a VPN while you're there, man. Just keeps you based in England, and just don't let anyone hear you. Just do it when you just make sure you
whispering in the mic. Fuck the Dagestanis.
I mean, what I will say that's very interesting about the Middle East, because Juliana's bringing this up. One thing that's very clear about Middle Eastern countries is there is a racial hierarchy there that is so blatant, it's almost shocking. Like when you go to, I'll give you an example. When you go to if you go to an emergency room, for example, you could be sat there waiting for 6 hours, like most people do when they're in an emergency room, and a Qatari guy will walk in and just go straight through and then walk straight out. And then in the same way, you're ranked in terms of where your passport is. So it's like if you're a white British person or a white American person, you're underneath the Qataris, and then it goes all the way down to like sort of where you get to like the Indians and the Filipinos that are at the bottom of the scale. And it creates a lot of tension as you naturally, and they're very unapologetic about it as well.
So where are we on there? Where are we?
We're
second.
We're second, I would say.
I'll take second.
Take second. It's like our salaries are higher, or because it becomes very, very stark in that, like, I remember when I got my first job in Qatar, they sat us around this big conference room table. I don't know why they did this. Maybe it was to break our morale or whatever. We all get our contracts at the same time. And then I'd have like South Africans there, Australians there. All of us were white, but our contracts were very, very different.
Oh, really?
So immediately they were like, like there was this one guy sitting next to me who was a South African guy. And he had like, this was my first year teaching, and he'd had like 10 years experience, and I was making 3 times what he made. So you can imagine the resentment that causes.
Yeah, that's going cool.
And they don't give a fuck.
What I like about it though is they setting the standard from the off, and they're not hiding it. Like, you know, like how we have the discrepancies between women and, like, I don't think it's as much as a thing now, but like women have a glass ceiling and all that shit. At least they're saying straight off, you're
the way
getting
things
paid
are.
less.
You can
Take it to fucking get out.
And they don't give a shit. But again, even with the differences in the way women are treated. So, for example, in Saudi, they've only passed a law recently where women are allowed to drive. But
I saw that recently.
In other countries, that was allowed.
Do you remember when WWE first went to was it Saudi? I think it was Saudi. The women weren't allowed to wrestle. Then the second time they went, they were, but they had to be fully fucking clothed. Like, what's the point of having female wrestlers if they haven't got the fucking baps out? Like, it's 100%, pointless.
I mean, this is where we're kindred spirits on that one. I'm all for that. But yeah, I would say overall, my experience I'd have to recommend the region because it's not as bad as it's like when I lived in China. Like, a lot of people have a representation of what it's like because all the big medias lie about each other. So the perception that we have of China and of the Middle East here is not quite as it is. In the same way as when you go there, the perception of us is very different as well. So they see us in a very different way also. It's all very sort of cloak and dagger, and, you know, it's just, I would say go and experience it. And there's certainly monetary gains you can get from being out, you know, in different parts of the world. And like I said, if I'd stayed in this country on like what would have started as a teaching salary and then as a professor salary, it would have been terrible. I wouldn't own my house now. I wouldn't be in a position where I am to set my kids up and all the rest of it. So this is
it's worth doing. It's worth doing. It's young people need to take note. But saying that, a lot of they're talking about the millionaire crisis at the moment. Like, the ICE taxpayers in the country are all fucking leaving because the country's going to shit. They're paying high tax. They don't want to be here. The liberals are taking over, so they're all moving to fucking Dubai and all these like low tax places because of it.
I mean, there's certain loopholes you can get around if you're a business owner. So Amazon do this quite a lot, where they they have items and stuff in Amazon warehouses that are in this country, but then they'll list it as being in somewhere else where the tax bracket's lower. So we're not benefiting from that business, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're here. So I mean, they're operating here, but we're not getting the tax from it that, you know, is so it's all there's shady ways of getting around it. But I would definitely like the best parts of my life and where I've made the most like progress in terms of like financially and growing as a person have been from getting the fuck out of here. And it's definitely something that I'm looking toward, because being back here, it's like you said, man, everything's expensive, tax is crazy, and the women here are certifiably insane as well, entitled fuckers. So I can't think of anything really that stands out as like a fringe benefit of hanging around here, unless you've got family or ties that you can't break away from.
Yeah.
For me, it's just the kids, but they're all teenagers now. Only a few years left, and then they'll be old enough to just come with me if I go anywhere.
Yeah, and that's another thing. When you do move, they set visas up for your entire family as well, and that gets factored into the accommodation you get and the allowances you get and the breaks you get and stuff like that. So it's definitely something to look into, and there's opportunities out there, because the thing is about these people is because of the way tertiary education is set up, our degrees and our education is valued worldwide, which is why it's so valuable to get educated here. Because then you go abroad and you end up higher up the pay scale as well. So it's all just very I would recommend anyone who's a young person, especially who's single, even if you're not, even if you're married and you just want a better life for yourself and you want to set yourself up and come back here and get on the property ladder and all the rest of it. You're not going to do that working within here and working within this system, because it's designed to fuck you in the ass, and it always does.
Yeah, it does fuck you in the ass big time. There's nothing you can do. Yeah, you just have.
And it's
Yeah,
the same.
I
It's
feel
the
you.
same with America. The same with everywhere where there's a high, where you're paying any high rate of taxation and the house prices are through the roof and all the rest of it. You're never going to get ahead. Never. There's no way. Like even now, like there was a time. I mean, back when we were growing up, having a salary of 75,000 a year or whatever would be mean you'd be a homeowner. The rest of it, that doesn't even cause a dent now. You need to be making 200 grand plus a year, and even that's not going to do it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, this
So, yeah.
country's lost its way, hasn't it? I think
It certainly has. It certainly has, and it's a shame. But there's like I said, there's ways around it, and it's about overcoming that fear of trying something new and getting yourself out there. Because yeah, there's definitely great places to visit. I would recommend the Middle East. I think like what's really great about living in places like Asia as well is you can go to somewhere like China where the salaries are high and the taxation is not, there's not no taxation, but the taxation is low. But you've also got access to a lot of countries that are fun to visit and easy to visit. So you've got that benefit as well. Have either of you ever been to that side of the world?
I haven't. Well, I've been.
no.
The furthest
not
I've
that far.
been is North Africa. That's probably in
You would
terms
be
of
like a
like
pig in shit,
that
mate.
way.
I mean, your nurse is definitely. I don't think it'd be a good idea for her to let you go. But it's awesome. Like a group of my mates, because we all turned 40 recently, and they all went off to go to Thailand together. And I've been telling them for years, you need to go here, you need to go here. And they all went there in April, and they've literally haven't shut the fuck up about it since. And they're all plotting going back again this year. It's one of those things that once you go, there's no going back.
Yeah.
There's no going back. It's just awesome. Yeah. So anyway, I think I'm going to draw things to a close here. What time are you planning on putting that? Have you got a link for that video already?
I'm posting it now.
All right.
It'll
So
go live at 1:45.
1:45. All right. Do you know what? We'll hang around until. Are you set up yet, Bodak? Or you're already live, aren't you?
Yeah, I have no idea if it worked or what's going on.
Let's have a look.
If the audio works, I don't know.
If you could post your link in now, we can see if it does, because this could be a good experiment to see if it actually works.
Hang on. There you go.
Yeah, he's live. Yeah.
It should be. You should be hearing and seeing exactly the same as on Frankie's stream.
It seems that's the way. So we'll post. So yeah, we'll post that in now. Again, shout out to everyone who turned up. Hopefully everyone will migrate over to where you're at now. Also, what I'll make sure I'll do is I'll hang about long enough so that when Brutali's video drops, I will post a link there and then also send it up in my socials as well. Because it'd be good if we could get this one out. Somebody's been deleted in the chat. I haven't even been checking the chat. Sorry to everyone in the chat. I've been kind of just getting into things here. But yeah, it's been a fun one. Thanks as all boys for turning up. And as always, we'll have stuff. I'll be back on Tuesday to do a pre-stream before yours. Brutally, do you have any plans over the next week to do any more lives?
I haven't got any plans currently now. Depends
More
if
on
Bodak's doing the quiz night or not. That'll be the only thing.
I'll be doing a quiz.
Are you doing an MMA
quiz on the?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be in the chat for that.
I've got to start chasing the guests now. Actually, don't want to leave it too late. I'm going to go for. There's a few people. I want to try and see if MMA Holes will come back on. I'm going to.
He was great. By the way, when you speak to MMA Holes, yeah, can you tell him that I don't hate him? Because for some reason, yeah, he's got me mixed up with somebody else, and whenever somebody brings my name up in his chat, he's like, "Oh, that Frankie guy, he hates me." I think he's definitely confused me with somebody else because I've only ever spoken highly about him. I love his channel.
No, I could sort it out. But I think I'm gonna go for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't spoke to him since the quizzy came on. I think I need to check in, see if Fight Fairy's going to carry on and come on.
She'd be a good one to have on because I mean, her audience has become quite chill now, in that they don't turn up and basically go at her. It's a bit more respectful.
I mean,
now.
that's shit. I'm so fucking fed up with that.
Speaking of Fight Fairy, I'll give you a little casting of who's in this video. So we're going to have Pat Barry, we're going to have Rose Namajunas, we're going to have Mayhem Miller, we're going to have Rigo, Eagle MMA, we're going to have Fight Fairy, Giuliano, Frankie, Bodak, Musical. It's a star-studded cast. That's what it is. It's a star-studded fucking cast.
By the way, when you do the description for your video, make sure you link all the names in there as well.
Yeah, I've tagged some names in it.
Yeah, because it does help to. Because I started doing.
I've never done it before. I see you
do
it.
I started. Yeah, the reason why I did it in mine, I kind of stumbled on it by accident. It was more to you because I was shouting people out in every stream, and I thought to myself, what I'll do is I'll just post everyone in there from the start, so that people can just go to the description and just click on certain people as opposed to me. And what I didn't realize is that it makes your video pop up in their notifications as a mention.
Yeah.
So they get personally alerted every time you go on, which is helpful.
That's good. Yeah, because it pops up every time I'm tagged. I'm like, nice one. I prefer that. So if anyone's dropping a video, just fucking tag me, because I don't fucking check channels. So
and sometimes the notifications can be a bit sketchy as well. They don't always work. So
yeah, I have tags in my streams and stuff now. It's
it wasn't like
YouTube's
a contrived
fucking useless.
Thing. It is, yeah. It's very inconsistent. It's like with certain people I have in here. It's like with Kerry from Rob's Neighbor, or sometimes with your videos. I usually get maybe it's because of a regional thing. I always get notifications for you guys, but for certain American streamers and stuff that I watch, it won't pop up, and I'll find out about it after it's happened, and I'm like, it's a bit frustrating.
Yeah. Every time I get a notification saying, "Oh, someone's live," they're always like an hour into their stream.
Yeah. All right, then, boys. Well, I'm gonna fuck off to bed. Good. I'm looking forward to the video, Brutally. Thanks as always for popping up. But yeah, I'll be on Tuesday, and I can transition into yours as well.
No worries, boys. Yeah,
thanks, guys, for turning up as always. It's always fun,
man.
And if this is the last video I ever post on YouTube, it's been a good one.
All right, boys.
I'm expecting get sued. Right, I'll catch you in a bit.
Take it easy, guys.
Yes. Take it easy, man. Bye.
Take it easy. All right, thanks again to everyone in the chat. If you could head over to Bodak, that would be really appreciated. If you could drop a like before you head out. Yeah, much love to everyone. It's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back on Tuesday to do obviously a pre-stream for Bodak's. And hopefully we can do a little breakdown of the next card, which should hopefully be better than, well, that shit show we just got last weekend. Subscribe to the usual folks on like No Chill MMA. Andy B, of course, as well. Chris Gray, who's coming up as well. Shout out to David Pando, whoever you are, for turning up today. Appreciate you. Apologies, there wasn't as much of a focus on the chat today. I will definitely make up for it on Tuesday. You know that when I'm by myself, I usually tend to focus on what you guys are gobbling on about. But yeah, head over to Bodak and give him some love. He's just hit 500 subs, and I think he's sailing above that now. So give the guy some love, help push the boys out there. Much love to all of you. Thanks as always for hanging out. Antec, Lane, Juice Man, all you guys, Westy, obviously, Giuliano, Kerry, Rob's neighbor, Cheddarhead, fucking love you, Cheddarhead. Yeah. Not in the AM. Oh, and Dougie's Corner. Head over to Dougie's Corner and sub to that guy. Always a legend of game. Yeah. Much respect, guys. I'll see you on Tuesday. I'll be on about the same time. Thanks a lot. Have a great rest of your weekend for whatever's left of it. Take it easy, boys and girls. Much love. Lane, shout out to you too. Take it easy.